Oh, hey, I have a meeting tomorrow. Wanda's looking for you.
And I would like to.
All right, let's call to order the workshop meeting for August 16th, 2022 at 5:01.
Councilmember Lespoviak.
Here.
Councilmember Bamanto. Here. Councilmember Stoyl.
Hi, here.
Councilmember Nichols. Here. Councilmember Al-Hajji.
Here. Pledge, please. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Alan. And here's your one left.
Okay, communication from the mayor, including disapproval messages.
Mr. Chairman, I'll mention it out there, but I just wanted to publicly acknowledge the professional job that all of our departments did last Thursday during a fatal accident. These accidents are not easy to handle psychologically when you see people dying like that, and our guys across all of the departments did an excellent job. So I'll mention it out there, but I just wanted to mention it.
Thank you.
Yes, exceptional.
Okay, we're going to go into communication from the public and petitions.
Number one, I have a tabled request from Elizabeth Norway of the non-for-profit organization Impact to hold a 5K run fundraiser along the waterfront on September 10, 2022 at 9 a.m. Also requesting some policing for the event.
Okay, this is tabled, so we're going to need a motion to pull it off in the regular meeting. Do we have any discussion, Council?
Chief, did they ever get a hold of you? No, I have not heard from them, no, but from reading it, they want to use the same route, I believe they do the Marauder traffic route, which would just only require a few minutes of us holding traffic at the pier when they run around and cross the pier.
Okay. Nothing further? Okay, number two.
Number two is a tabled request from James Thomas Jr. of the Jehovah's Witness to set up 2 mobile carts under the viaduct on Central Avenue and in the future at local parks and the pier grounds.
Okay, this is also tabled, we'll need a motion in the regular meeting. Any discussion?
Yeah, there's still no dates on it though.
Correct.
And if they want to do it, I mean, usually it's in a protocol that they would give some dates and that they, so everybody's on board of when they're going to be there. The police department, just in case they need to know that information.
I would interpret that as they don't want to be hemmed in by dates, that they want to have carte
Is that
blanche.
Carte
acceptable?
blanche, yes. And ma'am, I did,
Under freedom of speech, yes, it is. As long
I-
as they're on public ground.
when I communicated with them, I did iterate that we wanted specific times and dates.
Right.
And he just said that he didn't know when his members were going to be free. And I told him that it's not likely that the council is just going to give you a carte blanche permission to do these whenever you want. And he still turned this in the way it is. Now, I did tell him that if he was going to do it in the parks, that it was going to be less restrictive in the parks, that he would have more leeway, but if he wanted to do it in the public areas, that the council would most likely want to have specific times and dates.
Because on there, it has sometimes it would be in the afternoon, sometimes it would be 6 o'clock at night. It just, it's,
From a scheduling standpoint, how do we,
right.
yeah.
I don't think we need to be there is the issue. It's just them passing out their pamphlets.
Actually,
Watchtower.
I watched the video. I saw the cards. I have a picture if anybody wants to see them. They're small and non-invasive. And it said here that they don't approach people. They wait till the person comes to them. So I was thinking of a trial period with defined days and times, or
It's ultimately your call.
I have a suggestion, that we pass it. You can reach back to them on whatever day they're going to do it. Let us know.
Yeah.
Then it gets to the
Let
police.
the police department.
yeah,
Let us know.
exactly,
We don't need to know.
exactly.
They need to know.
Right. But that's what I was trying to, that's what I was trying to get
If they want
across.
to do it next Tuesday at 3 o'clock, just let them get back to you, let them know so.
Dave, what viaduct are you talking about?
Main Street.
I'm talking to Dave. What viaduct is it?
Main. Main Street.
Down there?
Yeah.
You're working.
Oh, that's out of my woods. Go ahead. I got enough stuff in my ward.
What do you guys think of that?
I like it. Yeah.
Give it a shot.
Pass it and, yeah, give it a trial, pass it, give it a trial base, they gotta let you, we gotta reach back to them and let them know
Yeah.
we're doing it such and such a date.
Who do I report that to?
I've got a screenshot. I don't know if anybody wants
Just shoot an email to
To your-
everybody.
I would say the
Yes, you
police.
can email it.
I mean, really nothing to do with me. I
To
mean,
me.
the only thing I would caution on is I just would hope they don't intrude on people like the music on the pier.
Right,
Do you want to
Other than that, I don't think there's much we can do about it.
yeah.
As a precedent, one of the other church groups sets a table up and they pray for folks going through drug court on Thursdays. They set up usually in front of the Stearns. And, they just basically ask you if you'll pray with them. And it's pretty non-invasive. So, I mean, if that's sort of in the sense of what they're trying to do is just kind of set up. Because as you guys know, the Jehovah's Witnesses usually go door to door. And since COVID, that really doesn't make a whole lot of
those
sense.
are the cards?
So I think this is their alternate way of trying to get their message across. So I mean, as long as they're just sitting there and it's just handing out information, I don't see an issue with it, but I agree with the chief that if they're getting in people's faces, that's separate. That's going beyond.
Well, let's try it one time and see how it goes, and we can adjust from
I
there.
just let our people know they're going to be out and about, and if there are any issues, we'll document it and bring it back to you.
Right.
If there's any problems, Nancy will let us know.
Good idea though. It's a good idea.
Okay.
That's the end of my ward.
All right, number 3.
Number 3, a thank you communication from the Dunkirk Yacht Club for the permission granted to use additional parking space on July 30th for their annual Commodore's Party.
Okay, we'll move on. Number 4, we all got that.
Number 4 is a request from Chautauqua County Land Bank and Hands-On Neighborhoods to use the gazebo at Washington Park or the Senior Center parking lot as a registration site on Saturday, September 24, 2022, as they host their second city cleanup event.
Any discussion, council? Okay, hearing none. Number 5.
Number 5, request from the Waterfront Hispanic Music Festival Committee to change the date and time of the festival as previously approved from Saturday, September 3rd, 2022, and Sunday, September 4th, 2022, to Friday, September 2nd, 2022, from 5 p.m. till 10:30 p.m., and Saturday, September 3rd, 2022, from noon until 10:30 p.m.
Any discussion, council? Hearing none. 6.
Notice of claim from Patrick Mahaney of Buffalo for alleged damages to his car from an abandoned light post at the city-owned parking lot on Washington Avenue.
Any discussion, council?
The light post is fixed, it's up and repaired as of today.
Thank you. Number 7.
Prior written notice from Larry Kozensky of 339 Hoyt Street to inspect a dead tree that is dying between the sidewalk and the street.
Any discussion, council?
Are you gonna just check with Andy to see if that's on the list that he has?
It is.
Thank you.
Number 8.
A loudspeaker permit request from Juan Rivera on behalf of Unique Car Club to have a DJ and for a car audio competition that will be indoors for a 2-hour window, September 3rd, 2022, from 11 a.m. until 5 p.m.
Any discussion, council?
If Juan's here, do you want him to speak on it now, or do you want to wait?
Meeting.
Okay,
I'd rather do it in a regular meeting.
thank you.
Number 9.
Number 9, loudspeaker permit request from Edwin Ramos on behalf of the Waterfront Hispanic Music Festival to use amps and speakers for live bands and DJs on Friday, September 2nd, 2022, from 5 p.m. till 10:30 p.m., and Saturday, September 3rd, 2022, from noon until 10:30 p.m.
Any discussion, council? Okay, hearing none, let's move on to reports to standing committees, boards, and commissions. Councilwoman Scoria.
Not here,
Okay.
not necessary.
Councilman Bamano?
Al? Yeah. Did you get my text message?
Today?
Culver Street? Yeah. We'll look at it in a minute. There's a picture of Culver Street. There's a,
Pallets?
yes.
Yep, I'm on. Yeah, I was just starting.
And the 200 block of Swan, that's a vacant house. It's on the odd side. Some people go in and out of there and drift in and out of there. It's just, it's all grown up again. There's trees on the front that are way up there.
I know Glenn was over there a few weeks ago checking it out.
Let's wait.
Last time we looked, it was secure.
I mean, there's no electrical boxes on there, everything's ripped off, gas. And there's a house on 4th Street in Woodrow, you guys taken care of before. It's up there again, that's also on the odd side, it's on the corner of 4th and Woodrow. Grass is getting pretty high again. It's vacated. And the other homes that, and properties that you guys, I asked for the last meeting, you guys took care of, so thank you.
Appreciate it. Yep.
Okay. Councilman Stoyl?
Nothing here.
Councilwoman Nichols? And I got nothing either. We'll go into unfinished business. Okay. Pre-filed resolutions, 72.
Number 72, resolution authorizing budget line modifications for fiscal year 2021.
Any discussion, council? Okay, if not, 73.
Number 73, resolution authorizing budget line modifications for fiscal year 2022.
Any discussion, council? All right, 74.
Number 74, resolution for ARPA stimulus fund use allocations.
Any discussion? Hearing none, 75.
Number 75, resolution authorizing mayor to sign agreement accepting NYSERDA grant for third-party support and advancing code compliance technology.
Any discussion, council?
Yeah, I'm going to commend the Economic Development Department for another successful grant proposal, but I want to know if I have this question right. Am I to understand this is going to streamline processes and enable citizens to communicate with City Hall online regarding permits?
Yeah, basically what the grant will do will provide us funds to implement a cloud-based platform for code enforcement, permitting, plan review, citizen engagement to directly file complaints on properties. It'll allow us for better reporting. It'll allow better mobile access for our code officials to be used on any type of device, a phone, smartphone, or a tablet from anywhere. Currently, they can basically only do it when they're on our network. The technology that we have currently is last century. It's not very robust. It's very difficult in reporting. So what this will do is provide at least 2 years of subscription and implementation for a platform where we'll put out an RFP and, find the right platform that's right for Dunkirk. And currently we're paying fees on this technology that basically isn't even really supported anymore. So that's really a big plus. Actually, when I first came here, I was looking to make some type of change, given the experience that I had in Jamestown and bringing the same similar type of program, and would have come to you requesting for funds. Found a grant to do it instead. So there we go.
Minutes, will that have to be renewed after this, or?
Yes, it will.
Okay.
Well, yes.
And after the 3 years?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Anything else on 75? Okay.
Have a walk-on, sir?
Yes, sir.
Walk-on resolution number 76-2022. Resolution accepting low bid for 2022 citywide paving with drainage additions.
Any discussion, council? Okay.
And walk-on resolution number 77-2022. Resolution authorizing shared services agreement, animal shelter, town of Dunkirk.
Any discussion, council?
This is just a renewal for the agreement we put together last year, just to allow the animal inspectors to house any stray dogs from the town in our facility. And I just checked, and year-to-date, it's been about 5.
Okay.
So it's not a big thing, but it allows them space to do that, because apparently the place down in Jamestown that takes the animals longer term won't do it for the first few days. So they have to be elsewhere for the first 5 days.
And then the money does come back to Dunkirk like it did before. They pick up for the service.
Correct.
Okay, nothing else? All right, can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Nichols. Seconded by Vescoviak.
Councilmember Vescoviak.
Aye.
Councilmember Bemanto. Councilmember Stoyl. Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember Elijah.
Aye, adjourned. Meeting of August 16th, 2022 at 5:30 p.m.
Councilwoman Laskoviac.
Here.
Councilmember Bamanto.
Here.
Councilmember Stoyl.
Here.
Councilmember Nichols.
Here.
Councilmember at-large D'Amico.
Here. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, certification of the prior meeting.
This is to certify that an official copy of the minutes of the Common Council meeting of Monday, August 1st, 2022 was presented to the mayor on Monday, August 8th, 2022. Pursuant to Section 3.03 of the Dunkirk City Charter, all items presented to the mayor are now in full force and effect. In witness whereof I have hereto set my hand in the seal of the city of Dunkirk, New York, the 16th day of August, 2022.
I need a motion to dispense with the reading of the minutes. Nichols?
Second.
Stoyl?
Councilmember Laskoviac.
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto.
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl.
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember at-large D'Amico.
Aye, carried. Reading the privilege of the floor regulations.
The privilege of the floor shall be extended to any person appearing for themselves, in which case that individual shall be limited to 3 minutes, and to any person representing a group who shall be limited to 5 minutes. When recognized, please stand and state your name and address. The city clerk shall have the duty of maintaining such time limits, and the councilman at large may determine in his discretion whether individuals are speaking for themselves or representing groups. Councilman at large D'Amico shall maintain good order and may require any speaker to cease speaking if remarks are made in bad taste or are slanderous or non-germane to any action taken or contemplated by council. The time limit specified shall be strictly adhered to, except that a speaker may be allowed to complete a statement or thought started before such time has expired.
Thank you. Privilege of the floor is now open.
Hello, it's me again. Mary Reese, a resident at 433 Dove Street, Dunkirk, and tonight I'm speaking on my own behalf. I believe there's an urgent need for the city to develop a long-range, ongoing plan that does not rely on volunteers as primary providers of routine garden maintenance for the pier and boardwalk area, because volunteer help is temporary, partial, Band-Aid solution at best. I respectfully propose that city officials consider hiring professional landscapers on a periodic basis 2 or 3 times a year to do the bulk of this work, as it seems difficult or impossible for city workers due to staffing shortages or lack of horticultural knowledge among summer hires to take care of this on their own. Hiring professionals would be a similar solution to the recent use of outside contractors for many large tree removals that were beyond the city's capability due to lack of necessary equipment or expertise. Earlier this year, a community organization I belong to asked for and was given permission for its members to help the city keep the weeds from completely taking over the 10 or more landscaped areas of the pier and boardwalk. Our volunteers are interested and willing to help with this work and have decades of valuable gardening experience, but they also have limited time and an average age of over 70. All it takes is a ride around the pier to see the weeds are winning. I hope you will consider hiring, skipped a paragraph. Summer in Dunkirk. Summer in Dunkirk revolves around events at the waterfront, many of them at the pier, and this high traffic, high visibility area is too important to Dunkirk's image and economic health to rely on either unpaid volunteers or inexperienced temporary summer hires to keep it maintained. And I'd like to say, when I was working there recently, a passerby came up and said, how do you know which ones are weeds and which ones are flowers are supposed to be there? And that's a good question, because some of those weeds since April had gotten to be the size of bushes and were bigger than the things that were planted intentionally. And my answer was 40 years of gardening experience, which is something you're not going to get from $14 an hour summer hires. So our volunteers have that value to give you, but you really can't rely on a bunch of old people who are constantly having health problems or going to Florida for the winter. Let's see, I hope you will consider this request to hire professional landscapers on a periodic basis to help solve this problem. I mean, we're still there to help, but we don't feel like we can be the first line of defense. And then, if I may, Ms. Nancy Nichols, just before the, this is now for Revitalize Dunkirk, I guess, very brief. Before the meeting, she said she'd gotten a call from a citizen who was concerned about the drooping flowers in some of the public plantings that Revitalize Dunkirk members maintain, and these are the street side gardens, and we have all these other adopt-a-garden things too. You all know there have been about three to 4 week long droughts this summer, and we have been dragging water to these sites as much as we can, but it's nearly impossible. So if any of those concerned citizens are out there watching and listening, Nancy asked that I say, please go ahead and feel free to water those plants. You will help us. We've just given up on a lot of them. This summer's been a tough one. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mary.
Thank you. And just as a note, you guys do a wonderful job. You're volunteers. I can't thank you enough for what you're trying to take on. It's a daunting task. Anyone else like to speak?
Dave, may I say
I'm sorry,
something?
go ahead.
I want to give you guys kudos. I had the opportunity to sit during a monster rainstorm on the pier, and I watched you and your husband go through that rainstorm. I'm wondering, when are they going to get in the car? So, God bless you. Thank you for your service.
Hello, my name is Juan Rivera, 130 Ruggles Street. I am the owner and founder of the Unique Car Club. I put in for a loudspeaker permit for car audio. We had a trial run where Edwin was up there. I brought a DJ. I brought the same DJ. He didn't bring the big system that he always uses. He used a smaller system. We put the music inside. We closed the doors. I just wanted to know what was your thought on that?
Did you want me to comment on what happened at the fairgrounds?
Yes.
Sure.
Okay, so they did have a DJ. I felt like they created a party just for me. So I went over, there was a DJ, and they had 2 cars inside the community building. When they closed the doors and they started the music, it was probably at 20 decibels and I was 30 feet away. So in my opinion, if it's done as designed, as it was done for me at that time, then there should be no issues with the community hearing the noise. I don't think Juan's going to have any hearing left after that, but that's his own issue.
I wanted to explain to you guys, it's not that, and I want to explain to the chief too, it's not that everybody that's going to be outside, there's a rule. You cannot turn your music on while you're outside. If I do get the permission, I'm going to make a live video. It's going to be on the posters. Everybody that comes there is going to know. If you turn the music on and you're outside, I kick you off the property, you leave, you're done. If the cops catch you out on the streets with the music, I hope they give you a $350 fine. The city needs the money. My thing is that I want to get the cars inside the community building, like he said. I close the doors. There's people inside because people want to listen to it. It's in intervals of 30 seconds. You got 1 car here, 1 car here. You pick a song, you turn your radios on for 30 seconds. You shut them off. I pick who's the loudest. You play 3 songs. The loudest of the first 2 songs is the winner. The winner sets outside while the other cars come in and keep on going, but it's intervals of 30 secones. It's not like they're constantly going to be playing. No, it's 30 seconds, shut off. Both cars shut off. Wait a couple seconds, 30 seconds, and again. If that car played 2 songs louder than that car gets eliminated, goes outside, parks, he's done for the rest of the night. And we're asking for just that window. So at 5 o'clock, I start giving out trophies. So by 5 o'clock, there won't be no other loud noise. The DJ's already shut off because all I'm doing is speaking over the mic, just handing out trophies.
Was it a 2-hour time frame, Juan?
Yes.
That you were requesting?
Yes.
So
at first I had to ask for a 4-hour window, but I know I have to work my way up to that. So I decided to make it a 2-hour window instead of a 4-hour window, because a 4-hour window,
And they're
my
all
ears are going to be hurting
pre-registered?
by the time I'm done.
Are they all pre-registered to do this one, that they're going to do it if they're going to compete in that part?
Everybody that comes in has to register, yes.
No, for that particular facet of your...
Yes, everybody has to pre-register to it.
And are you satisfied with that, Chief Arnold?
I am not. It's up to you folks whether you approve this or not. I will not support any type of a noise competition. Last year was a mess. I won't put myself through that again. If you guys want to approve it, that's okay. We agreed to just do the DJs and the bands, and now here we are again back at a noise competition. That's just me personally. If you guys want to approve it, that's okay, but I won't support it.
That's up to you. Like I said, that's up to you guys. I am only asking for a chance,
Rich wants to.
Just a technical question. I'm no expert in acoustics, but is there any kind of temporary sound insulation you guys can put on the walls and where the door, or anywhere there be openings for sound to escape?
The doors will be completely closed when it's running. When the cars are sounding off, the doors are the building is completely sealed. There's no coming in or out of the building while the cars are on.
I'm just wondering if the chief would feel more comfortable if there was some kind of and again, I'm just spitballing, like a screen or something that you can put, add an extra layer to just keep the sound inside?
Maybe not this year because it's so close, but maybe for next year if the fairgrounds let me, I could talk to them, see what we could do, if we could spray foam the entire building inside and keep the noise.
That can't happen. That's fire code violations. You can't do any of that.
It would have to be something that you just temporarily put up and then easily remove.
Oh, okay, no, I don't have that. I wouldn't be, right now for me to do that, I would not be set for that part.
My other concern is, were you inside the building when they were doing that, or you were outside?
I was about 30 feet away, and from the way that the acoustics came in, if I was in the midfield and of the track, I would not be able to hear their sound competition.
Okay.
But it's got to be done the way that they said it's going to be done, the way they did it for me. The doors have to be closed before the music starts. And once that happens, then from the midfield, I wouldn't have been able to hear the noise.
I know you know what happened last year, and we all got phone calls last year, and we got really beat up, terrible on it.
Yes, I understand.
We hate to say, yes, you can do it, and then something goes wrong, and we get beat up all over again. I'll leave town that day. It's not fair to the neighbors that live up there, but it's not fair to you to say, no, you can't do it, because this is part of the program that you want to put on.
Yeah.
And I don't know what made you
The thing is that I want to do it, I'm only asking for that 2-hour window.
Right.
If that 2-hour window works, you know what I mean, and I don't have to go, if I have to only do it 2 hours and everybody obeys by that 2 hours, I'm fine with that. I don't have to go, oh, wait a minute, let's go next year, let's try to do it 4 hours. I'll just have to push it as hard as I can to get it done in that 2 hours.
Mark? I think we should let them try it. If there's any issues in that 2-hour window, and we have to call the police go in there, keep up there, shut them down. This would be a sample like we've done before with you guys for the first year.
Once you give them the permit, that opens another door.
I could say this, I'm asking for a permit for an inside of a building, for people to sound inside of a building. If people are sounding outside the building, I know I have to be in control of everything, but if the police have to come and find somebody sounding outside the building, give them a fine.
The point is not us coming here to find, the point is a disruption of the community. Right. That's what I dealt with last year, and it ruined my day.
Yeah. Now, the only thing I'm going to comment on this, we've done this in the past with Chief Edwards, when people try to have fires on the beach. And I'm going to revert back. They're the two experts in the field. If the chief isn't behind this, I don't support it. I'm going to back the chief.
You see, I'm trying to keep everybody.
In respect.
I know. I'm trying to do this in one location where everybody could do it in one location instead of, I say I do it in one location and I got the 2-hour windows, but then there's people that don't want to go to the show and are doing it on the outskirts of town. I don't want that to come back. If the police are there, they wait a minute, the noise isn't coming from here. The noise is coming from someplace else.
What 2-hour window are you talking about, from when to when?
What were with the paper?
Because in your application, it has 1 to 5 for the total event, and you said 2 hours, but it doesn't say which 2 hours. So I'm just curious what you're thinking.
I would say from 2 to 4. 2 o'clock in the afternoon to 4.
Councilwoman?
Is there going to be a police officer there that day?
I don't.
Monitoring?
No. There's never, I never ask for police officers to come. If they show up, I let them in and they drive around. Sometimes they do come, sometimes they don't come. Sometimes I have police officers there, sometimes I don't.
How will you be able to control? I think most people will adhere to what you ask, but there's going to be some people that...
They'll be escorted off the if somebody comes in and turns their car audio and I see them with their car audio, they'll be escorted off the property.
You've come a long way with us and vice versa.
Yes.
So but I just want you to realize the implications in case it happens.
And that's why I'm asking for it, you know what I mean? If it doesn't work out, you know, well, one bit the dust, you know, the car audio will never be done again. I will never do the car audio again. I'm just asking for an opportunity.
Councilmember Mano.
Mayor, do you have any observation on this? Opinion?
My opinion is that I honestly don't think that this is going to work, but to deny an opportunity to bring an event that we've probably never had here in the city without knowing what the outcome would be is counterproductive. So my opinion is that it should be allowed with strings attached. I think the permit should have strings attached that if it is too loud and we do get complaints, you get shut down. But again, I don't know that this will work. I don't know that business as well as you do. But you know, as a mayor, my opinion is that I would not deny the opportunity to try something that we've never tried before.
I would like to have those parameters put in there. Shut it down, there's an issue.
It's something that I you know, the last time I did it, yes, it got, you know, it got to the point where, you know, the police showed up. Everybody got kind of worried. Some people, it was my fault. Part of it was my fault because I let everybody turn on, you know what I mean? Because I was up there, I had the assumption that I didn't need a loudspeaker permit, so I let everybody sound. And yes, I did contact everybody that I interrupted. I wrote to the girl from the wedding and everything, and I apologized to all of them, you know, and I had to go through a lot, you know. All I'm asking is for the permit just for 2 hours.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Can we get what we requested into that verbiage, into this resolution, so they have to get shut down?
Or the request?
If this passes, you get it in there.
Yeah, we can definitely put the language in, but I also want to be sensitive to the chief. I heard him comment that it's just not that easy logistically to shut down, depending, again, you know, it depends how many cars you have total there, how many cars are competing in that competition. So even if we put that in, I agree with the chief, it's going to be hard to police.
Not that simple. This was a 10-hour issue last year.
Yes.
It was all day, so I mean, that's a tough one to come back from once.
Yeah, and that's why I'm only asking for a 2-hour window, you know what I mean? I don't want it to be an all day, you know? Yes, would I like it to do an event like this and have you guys there for you guys to see? You know, it's like a car show, you know, you do a car show, I have the antique cars that show up now, and they're always there, and, you know, I did a car show last month. It was the old school versus the new school. You know, the antique cars were there, the new school cars were there. Guys from Buffalo, Rochester, all over the place come and they see. You know, I started calling out trophies, and they started coming out front. They're like, "Whoa, I won a trophy! My old car won a trophy!" I was like, "Yes." You know, ain't nobody have $30,000 paint jobs on brand new cars like. And the amount of time and money they spend on their old cars.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Anybody else like to speak while the floor is open?
Hello again, Paul Sommerfeld, CAC, Brooks Avenue. I hate to bring up that detour from the last time. I know it's done. but I have some questions as to how the process is to determine how the detours work. I noticed that when you were going northbound on Brigham Road, you didn't know about the detour until it was too late. You had already passed 4th Street, so you were forced into going down West 2nd Street. People also like to sometimes cheat the system, and so when they were going northbound on Nichols Avenue, if they were going to make a west, they just went straight up Nichols Avenue. And on one of the days shortly after the last meeting, I saw the rescue truck and a patrol vehicle at the intersection. I don't know if there was some sort of accident. I'd heard a rumor of a bicyclist getting hit, but I don't know if that was at that place or something else had happened. I had looked at the traffic count numbers, and it showed that Brooks Avenue has an average daily count, this is from 2019, of 214 vehicles per day. And on Brigham Road going southbound, just southbound, there were 1,695 vehicles. So that's like 8 times the amount of traffic on Brigham Road versus Brooks Avenue. And if you have that amount of vehicles going that way, something bad is going to happen. Additionally, Brigham Road is a truck route, but Brooks Avenue and West 2nd Street are not truck routes. And so the truckers need to be warned ahead of time that that truck route is closed so that they can take alternate routes, or we should detour them down alternate routes. I saw one trucker who basically made the right turn onto Brigham Road and then the right turn onto Brooks Avenue, and then when he tried to make the left turn onto Nichols Avenue, he must have backed up 5 or 6 times before he gave up. So we need to have a better system of rerouting people. I don't expect anything to happen on my street again in the near future. But in other areas of the city, you've got the same kind of situation. We need to make sure that everybody is on the same level with this so that people don't end up getting stuck in the middle of nowhere where they don't know where they're going, or tying up traffic forever. I mean, I've seen how long it takes to get a truck unstuck from underneath the Brigham Road viaduct, so. And I guess that's it for this week.
All right, thank you. Randy, just as a quick note on that, I'm guessing that is actually set up by the contractor?
Yeah.
The detour is really not, we don't really have anything to do with that, correct?
Councilman, it's set up by a company called Comet Flasher, the professionals in traffic control. They make a plan. My deputy, Mike Probation, ran that plan, I believe by the police and fire, as the best plan we could be. No plan is perfect. That intersection has not been dug up since 1958, when the T intersection of the two 20-inch water lines was constructed. Before that, it hadn't been dug up until the first one was installed in 1922. So hopefully we'll have the same kind of interval. I'm glad we got the work done superbly so that we can put these isolation valves in. Turned out great. We did it when school was closed. That would be my biggest concern. I didn't want to have school children walking around there, so I think all in all, I stand by the plan, I stand by the valves, I stand by doing it the best we could do.
Thank you.
Thanks, Randy.
Anyone else like to speak on the public portion? Okay, if not, going once, twice, 3 times. Privilege of the floor is closed.
Bye, guys.
Communication from the mayor, including disapproval messages?
Mr. Chairman, I just have an announcement to make. Before I do that, I would like to publicly acknowledge the professionalism that city staff across all departments showed last Thursday during a fatal accident here. There were people that died there. Our members across all departments witnessed it, saw it, and had to deal with it. The psychological impact on our members is something that we need to keep in mind. So I just want to commend the efforts and the leadership of our teammates that are out there, serving our community. When these things happen, these guys came up and they rose to the challenge. So just wanted to publicly acknowledge that. Also wanted to announce that, again, next week, the National Walleye Tournament will be happening from the 24th to the 26th. We already have anglers that are in town. Most of them are staying at the Clarion. There will be plenty of events and other activities associated with this tournament being here, not to mention the fact that we will have 2 days of national television coverage across several different national networks. So we will have other TV networks in our city here as well. This tournament is having an economic boom to our community here regionally. The Buffalo News has been contacting me regarding promoting the event, and things of that nature are happening. I just wanted to let the public know that this is a huge event for the city to host this event, and we're proud to be hosting it. Thank you.
Thank you. Communication from the public and petitions.
Number one is a table request from Elizabeth Narroway of the nonprofit organization Impact to hold a 5K run fundraiser along the waterfront on September 10th, 2022 at 9 a.m., also requesting some policing for the event.
Any discussion? If not, I'm going to need a motion to pull it off the table.
So moved.
I have Councilwoman Leskoviak with a second by Councilwoman Nichols.
Councilmember Leskoviak.
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto.
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl.
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember at-large D'Amico.
Aye, carried.
You need a motion to vote on that?
Yeah, so that brought off the table. So now we're going to need a motion to vote.
So moved.
Okay, I got Nichols and I got Bamanto.
Councilmember Leskoviak.
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto.
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl.
No.
Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember at-large D'Amico.
Aye, carried.
Number two is a table request from James Thomas Jr. of the Jehovah's Witnesses to set up 2 mobile carts under the viaduct on Central Avenue and in the future at local parks and the pier grounds.
Okay, can I have a motion come off the table?
Motion to take off table?
Leskoviak, have a second?
So moved.
Nichols?
Councilmember Leskoviak.
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto.
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl.
No.
Councilmember Nichols.
I'm bringing it off the table.
It's coming off the
Yes.
table.
Oh, yeah, that's okay.
Okay.
I thought we were voting on it.
Yeah, this is just bring it off the table.
Yes.
So that's a yes from Stoyl, a yes from Nichols.
Councilmember at-large D'Amico.
Yes, carried. Now I need a motion to move forward with the resolution.
So moved.
I got Leskoviak and I got a second by Mabano.
Cool. Councilmember Leskoviak.
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto.
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl.
No.
Councilmember Nichols.
No.
Councilmember at-large D'Amico.
No.
And number three.
Put it down. Yep.
Number three, a thank you communication from the Dunkirk Yacht Club for the permission granted to use additional parking space on July 30th for their annual Commodores Party.
Okay, received and filed.
Number four, a request from the Chautauqua County Land Bank and Hands-On Neighborhoods to use the gazebo at Washington Park or the Senior Center parking lot as a registration site on Saturday, September 24, 2022, as they host their second annual city cleanup event.
Any discussion, council? If not, I'm going to need a motion to refer to the appropriate departments as well, approve of subject to appropriate insurances and usual conditions.
So moved.
Stoyl?
Nichols.
Second by Nichols.
Councilmember Leskoviak.
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto.
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl.
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilman at-large D'Amico.
Aye, carried. 5.
Number 5, request from the Waterfront Hispanic Music Festival Committee to change dates and times of the festival as previously approved from Saturday, September 3rd, 2022 and Sunday, September 4th, 2022 to Friday, September 2nd, 2022 from 5 p.m. until 10:30 p.m. and Saturday, September 3rd, 2022 from noon till 10:30 p.m.
Any discussion, council? Not, I need a motion to refer to the appropriate departments as well as approve subject to appropriate insurances and usual conditions.
So moved.
That was Stoyl and a second by Nichols.
Councilmember Lescoviac.
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto.
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl.
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember at-large D'Amico.
Aye, carried.
Number 6, notice of claim from Patrick Mahaney of Buffalo for alleged damages done to his car from an abandoned light post at the city-owned parking lot on Washington Avenue.
Any discussion, council? Hearing none, can I have a motion to refer to legal?
So moved.
Lutzkoviac,
Nichols.
seconded by Nichols.
Councilmember Lescoviac.
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto.
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl.
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember at-large D'Amico.
Aye, carried.
Number 7, prior written notice from Larry Luchensky of 339 Hoyt Street to inspect a dead tree that is dying between the sidewalk and the street.
Any discussion, council?
No, just that, as in the workshop, I did ask Mr. Woodbury if this tree was already on the cut-down list, and he did say yes, it was. So it will be addressed accordingly. Is that not correct, Mr. Woodbury?
That's correct. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so this will be received and filed.
Number 8, loudspeaker permit request from Juan Rivera on behalf of Unique Car Club to have a DJ for car audio competition that will be indoors for a 2-hour window, September 3rd, 2022, from 1 p.m. until 5 p.m.
Any discussion, council? Hearing none, can I have a motion?
Council Chair,
Yes, sir.
I just, going back to what we discussed earlier, I have some proposed conditions. I just wanted to run by everybody to see if there's any consensus that we can add to this.
Okay.
Condition number 1 would be that Unique Car Club get a $2,000 bond for the event. Condition number 2 is that Unique take all competitor names and license plates. If anybody violates and doesn't pay attention to that 30 decibel rule, they will lose any awards awarded, and they will be fined $250, which is currently our maximum fine for noise violations. And number 3, if more than 2 complaints are received, the police and Unique will work together to completely shut down the event immediately.
Okay. Chief Ortolano, any thoughts?
Those are fine, but I still won't support it. Thank you.
How would the bond work?
Well, essentially, it's insurance for him, so that if there's any problems, he's insured, he's basically back in the city would be additional insured, so that if anything has to come out of pocket, Unique or one person don't have to come out of pocket. The bond would cover any costs of damages, cleanup, notices of claim, if people file noise complaints and they turn it into something, perhaps a small claim, let's say somebody broke a window because it was so loud, that kind of thing, he's covered. That's the point of that. It gives coverage to both Unique and to the city, because the city would be an additional insured.
Councilman Bamanto?
Under those stipulations, I'm going to vote yes for doing it. It's a 2-hour window. If they get fined, and if they get some arrest down the road in that 2-hour window, that's revenue for the city, folks. Well, let them do it.
And that's over and above what other arrangements they have with the fairgrounds, correct?
That's correct. So this would be conditions to have the city loudspeaker.
And add on.
And add on. And again, just another way to think about that, going with what you're saying, council members, the carrot for Juan and Unique is if this succeeds, we can do it again. If this fails, then we have all these conditions in place to cover the city, and then we know the experiment failed. Going back to what the mayor said earlier, I think it's at least worth a shot if we add these conditions to let's see if it works.
Or he could be denied future use of doing the car show again.
Of doing any kind of noise competition or audio competition, correct.
And how does Mr. Rivera feel on that?
What do you mean? This is about here. This isn't...
I know, but I mean...
No, he had his chance to speak. We brought this out. This is a stipulation, then this is a stipulation.
Okay.
There is no negotiation
All right.
here.
Fine. Fine,
Okay.
Dave. Yes.
Yeah. So at this point, is there any other
No,
comments?
I just...
Okay. Then is there a motion?
We can legally do that.
Is there a...
So moved.
No, we got to do 2 things.
So moved.
There would be a motion to accept the stipulations as conditions. of
Correct, so
approval.
we're going to modify that.
Right, as modified, and then you would vote on the actual approval.
Right, so I need a motion to modify, which is Councilwoman Litskoviak with a second by Bomano.
Councilmember Laskoviac.
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto.
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl.
No.
Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember at-large D'Amico.
No. Carried. Now I need a motion to accept.
So
Bomano, seconded by Litskoviak.
Councilmember Laskoviac.
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto.
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl.
No.
Councilmember Nichols.
Yes.
Councilmember at-large D'Amico.
No. Carried. Number 9.
Number 9, loudspeaker permit request from Ed Ramos on behalf of the Waterfront Hispanic Music Festival to use amps and speakers for live bands and DJs on Friday, September 2nd, 2022 from 5 p.m. till 10:30 p.m. and Saturday, September 3rd, 2022 from 12 p.m. to 10:30 p.m.
Any discussion, council? Hearing none, can I have a motion?
So moved.
Yep, for the appropriate departments as well as approval subject appropriate insurances and usual conditions. I got Nichols with a motion, seconded by Litskoviak.
Councilmember Laskoviac.
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto.
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl.
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols. Councilmember at-large D'Amico.
Aye, carried. Reports of standing committees, boards, and commissions. Councilwoman Litskoviak.
Yes, first I want to say the incident that happened on Central and Howard is very sad indeed, and I'm sorry to the families of the deceased and those who got hurt. There will be an Economic Development Committee meeting Monday, September 12th at 4 p.m. in the Mayor's Conference Room. All citizens are invited to find out what is on our city's horizon, grants we are trying for, and we will have a special topic to discuss that interests our city's business district hub. And regarding our Lakeshore Streets and Beautification Project, the medians are being created, as we all can see. Vince, do you want to emphasize on this project? Is the completion being met according to plan?
Yeah, we have another project update meeting tomorrow. Randy would probably better be able to elaborate on what's happening on the ground.
Sure. Our engineers, Erdman Anthony, have a full-time professional inspector on the job to make sure that they meet the plans that have been approved by the New York State Department of Transportation. So I can assure you that that person is doing his job and it's being built according to plans that are approved by DOT. And then any modifications to that we turn up, the engineering technicians working with some of the people that have brought some issues up to make sure that any little things, any latent conditions that appear during the construction need to be addressed or further addressed.
Thank you. Thank you. I also wanted to remind the public about the National Walleye Tournament Championship, the 24th through the 26th. It'll be a profound economic impact, as the mayor said. Our community will see at least an estimated $300,000 in local revenue. It'll be televised nationally as well as in Canada over several weeks on CBS Sports Network, World Fishing Network, to name a few, and it'll reach over 60 million households, which will provide exposure for our city and our beautiful harbor front. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Bomano.
Yes, I'd like to comment on the accident last week, or earlier this week, and I'd like to thank all the first responders and some of the people, the civilians, the public came out and helped out, and the leadership from both our chiefs all the way down. It was a tough time, tough moment, but everybody worked together and did the best they can and got everything taken care of. Thank you for that. Is the beach bash this weekend?
This weekend?
Who's got a brochure?
I don't know if it's the right date. Is it this weekend, August 20th, so?
Is it?
Yes, Saturday, yes.
So, the date is correct. This Saturday is the annual beach bash down at Wright Park. It starts at 10 a.m. and ends at 11 p.m. I'm not going to read all the events going on down there, but it's all the way from Wright Park. There's going to be a tournament going on. There's going to be basketball going on. There's going to be pickleball going on, and events for the young ones too. The family water balloon toss on the beach, a dunk tank, a face painting, So it's for all ages. That's why it's going from 10 a.m. till 11 p.m. There's going to be a band playing at 3:30. That'll be Kokomo time. And 6:15 it'll be Rent a Rain Train. And then at dusk, they're going to have a movie for everybody. So there's something for everybody down there all day Saturday. So come on down and support the Beach Bash. And there is a charity event for cancer at Bart's too. That's their annual charity event for this cancer, and that's at Bart's. That's going on all day Saturday too. So, thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Stoyl.
Yeah, again, both chiefs, your men are professionals to the max. It comes with a lot of training, and I know that both departments are constantly training. So thank you for the work you do, and I know that had to be hard on the guys. And how about the lights? Randy, I guess this is you. The lights on Central Avenue, the poles seem to be there, but there's no lighting. From the fair, where the fairground accident happened?
Yeah. Mike could address that better than I could, so I know he's on that, and it's an issue that he's coming close to, but Mike is off today, so let me, if you don't mind, I'll give you a call tomorrow with an update on that, and let the people know that Mike Provision, our deputy director, is also a master electrician. He's interfacing with National Grid to get that to happen. It was an unusual storm. I mean, they've been out since December 11th. Totally agree with you. We got to get that back up. So I'll have a solid answer for you tomorrow.
Thank you. Al?
Yes, sir.
How are we doing at 725 Washington Avenue?
That is being currently addressed.
It's what?
It is being addressed.
And how is that? I've heard the story before of it being addressed. How is it being addressed?
Notices have been sent and will be pursued.
Because I want to remind you, the guy that's living there does not own that house.
Correct. That's the other.
So he's just a resident there. The people that own it, you've got the phone number for it.
Yeah.
That's their responsible. I want that porch cleaned up. I got 25 neighbors calling every single day. It's a fire hazard. The chief agrees with me. Everybody agrees with me. I don't want this blown under the table.
No, it's not. No, it is being currently addressed.
So I'm not going to have to ask this again next meeting?
Nope.
Thank you. I hope my neighbors are watching. Do you want one of the tomatoes out of his garden, by the way?
I'll pass.
That's all I've got.
All right, thank you. Councilwoman Nichols.
Mayor, do we have a harbor master for the city of Dunkirk, per se, for the city of Dunkirk?
No, we don't. We have a marina operator.
Okay. Last Friday, I was on Lakeshore Drive by Eagle Street, and there were several jet skis that were in the inner harbor. And I know we have a no-wake zone in the inner harbor, and I know the dimensions and the parameters of where it goes from Niagara Mohawk all the way to Wright Park. There were two elderly men in little tiny fishing boats that were hanging onto their boats for dear life because of the wake that these two jet skiers were doing when they were going in the inner harbor from left to right, right to left, east to west, west to east. We don't have a sheriff or a harbor master that would be in control of that because they are not supposed to be doing that right where they're doing it.
We don't have a harbor master. That would run under the responsibility of the sheriff's patrol. Currently, we don't have a boat in the water, so this will be issues that we'll have to address accordingly in the future when we do have the boat. But I would recommend that our chief contact the sheriff and let him know that we would appreciate more patrols of our...
Well, I think we addressed that last year, though. Remember that we were told that it was over at Chautauqua and not here, and they were patrolling Chautauqua Lake more than Dunkirk.
Right.
And they said, last year, they said they would try to be here more, whether they don't have the crews.
Right, they don't, it appears they don't have enough crews to have somebody monitoring the harbor here in the city of Dunkirk full-time.
Okay. I felt bad for these elderly men that were out in the fishing boats because it was they were big wakes. And it shouldn't be for them. That's enjoyment right there. If they're coming in, they're trolling in to come in to bring in their boats, I mean, why scare them like that? Also, Marty brought up about Wright Park with what's going on this weekend with the, they're going to be doing sand sculpting too.
I couldn't read it.
Yeah, sand sculpting. If we could get some of the city picnic tables that are over by the beach house back onto the piece of land that is closest to the water, it would be wonderful for our residents if they wanted to do picnicking over there. I had 4 phone calls over the week that there were none. They brought picnic lunches and everything, and all the city picnic tables are over at the beach house. Okay, I'll get there. But they want to know why the picnic tables are over there and not on the city property.
If I may address that,
Sure, Rich.
just a reminder that the beach house is city property, just as across the street is. And the beach house has grown in popularity, obviously, since the change we made in the last 2 years.
Right.
They're in year 2 of a 5-year lease with us as a licensee. So the city benefits from those benches being there. What I would recommend, and I understand what you're saying, is that if there's any free benches available, then we ask Parks to bring additional benches across the street. I don't think it's an either-or proposition, it's an and proposition. I think that would benefit both the people who are picnicking and bring their own food, and allow the beach house to continue to have the economic impact it's been having, and provide that recreation for folks who enjoy it.
Right, but the city's not making the money out of what he's making out at the beach house. Indirectly, yes, not directly. The people wanted to bring their families there with their children, and they just don't want to have them over there when there's adult beverages being served. They wanted to bring their own little picnic basket and have just like a family little picnic over there, and they could not because there were no tables there for them to sit at.
I would also remind all our citizens and users of the parks that we have 4 beaches in the city. Main Street Beach, which is very popular. We have Cedar Beach, and we also have Point Gratiot. There are plenty of places with no alcoholic beverages, with plenty of tables, and also grills for people to picnic if they don't want to be near the beach house. The beach house isn't the issue. The issue is people who don't like the beach house. The beach house is part of the city park system. It is an asset to the city. It is owned by the city. And yes, the operators make their money. But that's not the point. The point is we want the amenity there to attract people. Those grandmas and bushes that you mentioned at our last meeting, there are a lot of people. If you see the skew, who goes to the concerts there, who goes to see the live music, those are bushes. Those aren't people my kids' age.
But they're sitting down too.
Right.
Yeah, I know.
Right. So people benefit across the age range in that park. It's part of the amenities of the park, just like the splash pad, just like the pickleball. So I agree with having more picnic tables on the other side of the street, but I don't think it's an either or. It's let's bring more picnic tables because we're attracting more people.
Right, we are, but we need to find more so that those people, and I do know a few of them, they had lived here at one time and they moved away, and they're younger then, and they brought their children and they came back to reminisce of where they swam, where they played in the sand and everything when they were children. So they're bringing their children back here to do what they did when it was their age. And that's all I said. I would bring it up to ask if it'd be possible that more picnic tables or some could be brought over there.
It's a great suggestion. Hopefully Parks and DPW can work on it.
We've already got a plan going.
I know.
And Randy just mentioned, I don't hear Nancy, but there is a plan in place.
Right. Jason and I are working on that.
Okay, sorry, I didn't mean to throw you under the bus by not letting you know I was going to bring that up.
That's fine.
Do we have any feedback at all on what would be happening with some of that parking issues that are down there? By the rails, the pipes or whatever, so that they're not triple parked? I know we discussed the parking lot that was intended for between Serval and Ocelot Streets.
Mike and Andy are working on a striping program. We're down there to make it more efficient. Every place in the city that has parking should be striped. It makes parking much more efficient, so striping will be one of the first things we do down there.
Okay. And I know we're going to do the resolution on paving. Randy, will Pam do a notification for the press on what streets are going to be done and when they're going to be done so that our residents are alerted and they know, and Andy will tag the households?
Of course, Andy and Pam, part of our great team at DPW administration, and they do all those things like that. I can assure you that they've done it in the past perfectly. They will continue to do it in the future perfectly.
And then I did have one more request for beaches, if the possibility would be, and I know we have several people that are either handicapped, permanently handicapped, reliant, or some that are temporary, but somebody had asked me if there would be a possibility that we could do some kind of a pathway so that people in wheelchairs or walkers could get down to the water. And I'll leave this with you, Randy, so that if you wanted to look at it, you could.
Thanks.
Vince, I didn't ask you the last time, and I promised this gentleman I would ask you this time. Are you doing anything, or is economic development doing anything? I know I probably should have addressed Natalie since she's chair, but I did not, I'm sorry. If we're looking at bringing and reaching out to any businesses of coming into Central Avenue to occupy any of those empty storefronts down there.
We're trying to develop the buildings. I don't know if there's any specific business. Probably not, but we're trying to redevelop these buildings and looking for funding to do so. And once you have good space, usually commercial development follows.
Okay. I was just reflecting on back how Dunkirk looked back in the day. And the last question I have was, and I think, Roger, you might be able to ask this, that it's been probably 7 weeks now and we don't have a public works supervisor. Is there any plans for something coming down the future? Maybe the mayor or Randy or Roger could answer that question for us?
We are probably going to be doing interviews. I was still debating whether or not that position was going to be continuing to exist in city government. There's some changes that we intend to make, and as long as the union is in agreement with it, then we will be filling that position. So we are in that process. I believe I answered that question at the last meeting. When we conduct the interviews, if we decide that we're going to be hiring, then we'll let you know.
Thank you. That's it, Dave.
Thank you. Real quick on my end, Randy, and I know you talked to Councilman Stoyle earlier about the street lighting and the light poles. Given the recent storm that took out part of the first ward, is there a chance you could kind of give us a timeline on when you think you might get through back to the first ward? I mean, I know you still got stuff on Central. We got other ones that are already on the list with obviously more to go on the list, correct?
Are we talking about trees and storm damage, or?
Light fixtures, street lights, and yes.
Yeah. I wish Mike were sitting here.
I know, that's fine.
He'd have an immediate answer for you.
Okay.
Speaking for him, because I know him so well, he's on it. We're going to get it done as fast as humanly possible. I will get you that answer of when that's going to be tomorrow after I talk with Mike.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Yes.
I know Vince had told me that we again applied for the revitalization initiative again.
Well, we haven't yet. We're in the process,
so
putting it together a package.
That will help our downtown area.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Okay. Let's move on to unfinished business.
None, sir.
None. Pre-filed resolutions, number 72.
Resolution authorizing budget line modification for fiscal year 2021.
Any discussion?
Yeah, I just would like to have on record, I agree with the 4 resolutions in the agenda tonight. Thank you.
So noted. Okay, any other questions or discussion? If not, clerk call the roll.
Councilmember Lescoviac.
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto. Aye. Councilmember Stoyle.
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember Elias D'Amico.
Aye, carried.
Number 73, resolution authorizing budget line modifications for fiscal year 2022.
Any discussion?
Councilmember Lescoviac.
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto.
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl.
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember Elijah D'Amico.
Aye, carried.
Number 74, resolution for ARPA stimulus fund use allocations.
Any discussion, council? Hearing none.
Councilmember Lescoviac.
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto.
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl.
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember Elijah D'Amico.
Aye, carried.
Number 75, resolution authorizing mayor to sign agreement accepting NYSERDA grant for third-party support and advancing code compliance technologies.
Any discussion, Councilwoman? Let's go ahead.
Yes. I would like to commend the Economic Development Department for another successful grant proposal. Vince, I am to understand this will streamline processes and enable citizens to communicate with City Hall online regarding permits, claims, etc.
Amongst other things, basically, NYSERDA, New York State Energy Research and Development Authority, has put this program out to municipalities to support and improve technical and online capabilities to residential and commercial buildings. So what Alan and the team does there in code enforcement and permitting. So it's basically a platform, a database with all the properties in the city, and they will utilize that for their code enforcement efforts, their permitting, plan review. We can also, with this program, hire outside independent third-party reviewers to review plans for energy compliance, and will help us streamline that when we do get some projects. So it's a $125,000 grant. Basically, the city has been paying a subscription fee for what is last century technology that is no longer being supported because it's so old. So this is going to, yes, as you said, streamline it. It's going to make it more accessible to the public to directly file complaints against certain properties anonymously, or they can provide their name and they will get feedback from when the process happens through code enforcement. So this is going to be a great tool for our code enforcement and buildings department, and it'll be a great tool for citizens to engage with our zoning and building team.
Thank you.
Any other questions or discussions? Not, clerk call the roll.
Councilmember Lescoviac.
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto.
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl.
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember Elijah D'Amico.
Aye, carried. All right,
Number
we're gonna-
76 is a walk-on resolution, number 76-2022, accepting low bid for 2022 citywide paving with drainage addition.
Any discussion, council?
Finally, Ensenada street drainage problems will be addressed after all these years right along with the paving of the streets. And as I asked Randy if he would have Pam do the notification of the streets that were going to be resurfaced or repaved, so that the residents in those areas know that they should remove their cars from the streets. Thank you.
Any other? Not, clerk call the roll.
Councilmember Lescoviac.
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto.
Just remember, it's two-step for these two, because they're walk-ons, so we do the motion to bring off, bring
Yes.
it in, and then
Okay, so this would be a motion
To bring it
to
on.
bring it into, okay?
So moved.
Second.
So Nichols, Stoyl, there's a motion.
Councilmember Lescoviac.
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto.
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl.
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember Elijah D'Amico.
Aye, carried. Now I need a motion to vote.
So moved.
Nichols,
Second.
Stoyl,
Councilmember Lescoviac. Councilmember Bamanto.
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl.
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember Elijah D'Amico.
aye, carried.
Number 77, walk-in resolution number 77-2022, resolution authorizing shared services agreement, animal shelter, town of Dunkirk.
Any discussion?
No.
Okay, if not, I need a motion to bring it on.
So moved.
Nichols?
Second.
Seconded by Lescoviac.
Councilmember Lescoviac.
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto.
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl.
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember Elijah D'Amico.
Aye, carried. Now I need a motion to vote.
So moved.
Nichols,
Nichols.
Stoyl,
Yeah.
Councilmember Lescoviac.
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto.
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl.
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember Elijah D'Amico.
aye, carried. Anything else under new business?
No,
Yes,
sir.
I had
Yes, go ahead.
just had one comment, going back to the picnic tables down at Wright Park. What I've noticed in observation, There is picnic tables on the other side at times, but what they do, family comes in there and they double them up. And there's only 2 here. Then you walk down 50 feet and then there's 2 more there. And thinking about it, I had time to think about it. These are good problems to have. Things are happening down there.
Yeah.
So if we need more picnic tables, let's get them because good things are happening down there.
Or build them during the winter.
You build them, they'll come.
I know.
That's it.
If not, I need a motion to adjourn. Nichols?
Motion.
Second by Lutzkoviac.
Councilmember Leskovia.
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto.
Aye.
Councilmember Stoy.
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember Elias D'Amico.
Aye, you're adjourned.
God help me. Look at here. It is, but it's just, I tried explaining the story.